Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Chair League match between Hodor and Smash Mouth All-Stars. Hodor. I don't know, I'm not a Game of Thrones watcher, so don't know exactly how that is pronounced, but this is a Division 2 match. This is between Mongoose's team and one of our old rivals on the Tiny Fuppets, Smash Mouth All-Stars, so looking forward to this. Both teams on point in terms of their portrait synergy game. But they should be good. Looking forward to that. By the way, I don't know where my phone is. It needs charging anyway, so I'm not going to be able to see the chat tonight. So if I'm secretly muted or something, I'm just not going to know about it. Sorry. But I think we're pretty much all ready to go. This first game is going to be on Sky Temple. And I think we're about ready to go here. People are saying someone is missing, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're just being silly. I see everyone present on both teams, so yeah, here we go. Draft underway here for game number 1. Once again, this is going to be Sky Temple, so tell you this, I am very much looking forward to casting this game rather than playing it. I think in the past few days where I've played, my only non-brawl win has been a single quick match. Other than that, it has just been all red, all miserable. So, hopefully the casting goes a little better than my playing experience. But it is going to be Ragnaros banned out first here for Hodor. That is going to be Lucio banned out, looks like, by Smash Mouth All-Stars. Lucio, I know, still rather atop the win rates, at least according to Hot Slogs. He did get a minor nerf, I believe, in the last patch, but nothing too significant. I think it was his level 16 intelligent Rejuvenescia, something like that. Got a slight nerf, but nothing too severe. And Murky did get some nerfs, so he is definitely tumbled down. But it's going to be Malfurion picked up first here for Hodor. Really like the first pick of Malfurion. Not only is he just a very OP support, but Lucio was banned out, so they gotta have their pick of one of the two top tier supports. But also Malfurion is just so flexible. It's very easy to build a team around him. Yeah, he fits in so many comps so well. But it's going to be Artanis Rhaegar the answer for Smash Mouth All-Stars. Smash Mouth All-Stars, if I could speak. So, could be looking to pick up a Rhaegar before their support options get choked out further, as they will not get to pick again before the next ban phase. But it's going to be ETC. So ETC does pair up very well with Malfurion. Power Slide into Roots is a pretty lethal combo. So curious to see who else they're going to pick to pair up with these two. It is going to be Dahaka. So nothing too crazy yet in terms of something to capitalize off of the ETC Malfurion combo. But they're going to pick up a pretty dominant soul laner in Dahaka and also a global, which is very good on this map. So if you are Smash Mouth All-Stars, I think you're looking to ban out some kind of follow-up for this combo. So they could maybe look to ban out a Li Ming. Maybe look to ban out a Vala. I was going to say ban out Ragnaros, but that was already done. But Ragnaros would be a very strong follow-up to Power Slide Roots. Or Drag, even. But it looks like it is going to be Vala, who could definitely capitalize on that, but yeah, she's more of a sustained damage dealer instead of a burst damage. But no, they actually decided to go for Janna. Which I think can make some sense. You know, Jaina is definitely a burst mage, and can definitely follow up on a target that is just made to sit still for a little bit. I think Li Ming would have also been a good option. So Hodor looking to kind of monopolize the globals. They already have Dahaka, banned out Falstad. So looking to have a dominant presence on the map and limit the ability of Smash Mouth All-Stars to also have a strong presence on the map. So if you're Smash Mouth All-Stars, I think you need something to capitalize on the Artanis Rhaegar pick. I'm not sure what you do to help capitalize on that. Malfurion would be great, as you can root someone who's been swapped, but Malfurion already picked up, so that is not an option. But yeah, it just goes to show you how powerful Malfurion is. I mean, it just works with anything. He's so good. But it's going to be Li Ming and Vala, so going to lock up a tremendous amount of damage. The problem with that, though, I think for Smash Mouth All-Stars, they probably are going to need another tank, and then you're going to have a Vala that doesn't have double support. So I don't know. The Vala might end up being a little bit too squishy to work, but they do have a burst stealer in Rhaegar. But I don't know. Potentially a little bit scary. Smash Mouth could elect to possibly go for a Zarya with their last pick. In which case they won't have like a super hard CC tank. But they might be able to make up for it. They might be able to just out-damage the double tank on the side of Hodor. The last two picks for them going to be Nazebo Gul'dan. So it's going to be a tremendous amount of sustained damage on their side. So they have Gul'dan who can just put out a ton of damage just with his Corruption and Fell Flame. And he's going to be heavily empowered by Malfurion, who has very mana efficient, very good single target healing. So he's going to be able to give Gul'dan plenty of health, which he will be able to turn into plenty of mana. And they have Nazebo, who going to be a late game beast. This is usually a map that does go pretty long. And pretty much as long as Nazebo gets to level 20. Very hard to deal with. But Rhaegar is going to have a tough time keeping everyone up. But the last pick is going to be Anubarak, which, you know, I really like that pick. It's basically double mages on the side of Hodor. They do have Gul'dan, and then I think a lot of Nazebo's damage is ability based. With his spiders and his poison. Well, to be honest, mostly spiders. That does seem to be the dominant build you see from him these days. Of course, Anubarak is going to have probably dampened magic at level 1, but I believe he does now have built-in spell armor. So it's going to help keep him up. Mitigate a lot of the damage coming out from these ability damage dealers on the side of Hodor. So, going to be interesting to see. But Anubarak is also going to give them good engage, good disengage, good CC. But yeah, here we go. Game number 1 between Hodor and Smash Mouth All-Stars. On the side of Hodor, it is going to be Mongoose on ETC, Dragon Knight on Gul'dan, Wild Thunder on Nazebo, Radion on Dahaka, and Osteel on Malfurion. And on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars, it's going to be Chef Pablo on Artanis, Snail Pound on Rhaegar, Grower on Anubarak, Solo on Vala, and Blackout on Li Ming.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go fight. Do what.
Hey, I kind of do like the double tank comp of Hodor. I think it's going to allow them to be fairly defensive, and just gotta get to 20. Of course, right after that, we're seeing Widowmakers out of Nazebo, so going to be going for that spider build. Going to be looking to see an absolute late game menace. The Haka going to burrow bottom, immediately start on that soak. Which means that the rest of his team does need to be a little bit careful as he is not there with them. And that is what we see. Artanis going to join him in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, it is going to be Vala and Nazebo up in the top lane. Vala faking like she wants the Hearth back. Maybe tried to bait something out from Nazebo there, but he's not going to take the bait. You know, Anub getting a little bit low. Power Slide comes in from ETC. But he's going to use the Impale, but no! Anubarak not going to get away. This is Burrow. I think probably just came off cooldown when he did that, but fortunately for him, not soon enough. That is one of the dangers of Anubarak. He is a fairly squishy tank. This is going to be a early game advantage here for Hodor as they take control of the middle temple. Meanwhile, top temple still not being picked up by either team. And the danger here for Smash Mouth is that if they are late at grabbing this temple, Hodor can finish up the middle temple and then rotate up and contest the top temple and maybe steal a lot of the shots potentially, so gotta be careful. Meanwhile, Dahaka still in the bottom lane soaking, and thanks to his global, he can basically join his team at any time, whereas Artanis does not have that luxury. So Hodor all finished with the middle temple. Now turning their attention to the top. And the big power slide coming down onto Vala. She is going to go down. But it looks like going to be content with just that kill. And go ahead and let the rest of the temple shots go over to Smash Mouth All-Stars. Meanwhile, Dahaka and Artanis still in the bottom lane. As Dahaka electing not to come up and try and help his team contest the temple. Meanwhile, Rhaegar awfully far on the other side of the map. But he's going to get away. Thanks to his Doge form. Meanwhile, Artanis looks like he had to go back. And he does not have a global, so he'll have to walk his way down here. But Li Ming taking over for him in the time being. So it looks like Nazebo going to go ahead and start on the Bruiser camp. Could be picking this up a little bit early. A lot of times you see teams go for the Siege camp first. And then they will pick up this Bruiser camp. The reason for that is so that the Bruiser camp can push on the other side of the map. While the bottom temple is active. So it's very difficult for teams to actually clean that up. And by taking it early, you end up kind of sending the camp to its death. And really doesn't get too much value then. So unfortunately, you see the camp just kind of being abandoned. Not that it would make a difference if everyone was up pushing with it, but... So they're going to go ahead, pick up the siege camp, maybe look to do something with this. I think it would be a real shame if the camp was just kind of left to its death, but meanwhile, Dahaka looking to contest the siege camp, but not going to get there in time. Not quite there in time to get on the point. But so far, the bottom siege camp working out well here for Hodor, as they are going to get the well, which means that any kind of prolonged fight along this bottom temple, it's going to heavily favor Hodor, as they do have their well to fall back and tap on, but that is no longer available for Smash Mouth All-Stars. But the news for Smash Mouth is that they did pick up the Bruiser camp at the right time, so Dahaka being forced to go back and deal with it, which means he is not down here in the bottom lane, which means this is a 4-on-5. That means that Well, now it's a 3-on-5. And I don't know, you know, Hodor, they did have the well down. I feel like they could have let that top fort go, and may have got more value out of getting the whole temple and probably winning a team fight, but chose to send Dahaka back, and they're at least going to get some soak. Meanwhile, a big 4-on-5 engagement down here in the bottom lane. I'm not sure Dahaka had Brushstalker available, as he did just use it recently to go up top and clean up the camp. But swap goes down onto Malfurion. But Power Slide comes in from ETC. Artanis in a lot of trouble, and down he goes. So that is a 4-on-5 1 here for Hodor, as they now pick up level 10. It is going to be Stage Dive from ETC, so that's going to give them 2 globals. Kind of interesting. I just noticed this. That is the broccoli picked up for Malfurion, not a Loon's Grace. So electing to not go with the extra range, but this is the one that spawns a treant. So every time he casts root, it's going to be a little bit of yeah, there is. There's a little broccoli guy. I think it could be an interesting pick against Li Ming, as that treant will come out, block any potential arcane orbs that are in the area. But it's an interesting pick, and I think it can definitely work in some situations. But I never explore any of those because I just pick meta picks because I assume everyone is smarter than me. We are going to have the next temple phase coming up. This time one in the bottom lane and one in the top. For those who don't know, the third phase always has the bottom temple and then either mid or top. That's the way this works. So that is the Purifier Beam coming down onto Gul'dan, who is just going to largely walk away from it. But so far the bottom temple is going to be one that is heavily contested, but Power Slide comes in from ETC. No mosh pit, so nothing super scary to worry about there for Smash Mouth, but a gigantic Horrify and Stage Dive results in the death of Li Ming. And no interrupt available for Anubarak, so Gul'dan going to sit there and drain life on him. Artanis going to be the next to fall. That is going to be a 2-for-none trade in favor of Hodor. And if Dahaka has Brushstalker, I missed whether or not he used it, but he could potentially go up to the top and grab that. But it looks like the rest of the team going to leave Dahaka. No, they're actually going to start on the boss, so they're going to forego the top temple for the time being. Yes, I just take the boss, so I don't know about that. I mean, the boss probably not going to get a lot of value because really Smash Mouth can just take pretty much this entire temple and then go deal with the boss, as it does take its sweet time walking over to the keep wall. So by taking the boss, they don't really force Smash Mouth off the temple at all. So I don't know. Probably were a little bit low. It looks like a noob choosing not to finish off the temple. Yeah, there you go. Maybe left that a little bit early. Perhaps was worried about an invasion, but there it comes. He has escaped, so he's going to get out of there. So, I don't know. I feel like Hodor could have maybe contested that temple, but they despite winning the team fight, they were a little bit low, so I can understand the hesitation. But so far, things looking very good for them, as they're about to have all 3 forts down. Meanwhile, they still have 1 fort left. Smash Mouth does have to be very careful. They probably cannot continue to trade this out. In fact, I really don't know about this. A fort for a keep, not a good trade at all. And it looks like Smash Mouth is realizing this, although not entirely. Alright, I take it back. They're coming back. The fort was still going down, so I thought Vala and Noob were still attacking it, but no, it was just the minions finishing it off. But they're going to lose their keep wall, but they're going to take down a fort. So not a terrible trade, I don't think. But certainly that was not a trade they can continue to take. Meanwhile, the collapse is on for Dahaka. The chomp comes down. Meanwhile, adaptation has been popped, so he's about to get all this life back. But a giant 3-man power slide and horrify. This is not looking good at all for Smash Mouth. So far, only Val has gone down miraculously. I think Rhaegar about to go down next. Artan is going to be the next to fall. And I think a noob is going to get out of there. But yeah, him and Li Ming absolutely cannot hang around. So Smash Mouth thought they were getting the gank, but no, it was actually 3 of them who ended up going down. You know, next temple coming up, this time it is only in the bottom lane. So far, no one headed down to start it on the side of Hodor. Because they want to get as much damage as they can on this keep. It's a little bit dangerous. If they hang around too long, they could end up getting low. And then suddenly they're not in position to even take the temple anymore. But they do have a 2 full level lead. And didn't give up that much by taking down the keep wall, so they are going to be okay. Smash Mouth not even going to contest it. Just going to pick up their siege camp instead. Meanwhile, Dahaka and ETC doing what they should be, as they are guarding the entrance. Power Slide comes out from ETC. But he's going to walk right away from that phase prism. Meanwhile, last few shots of the temple about to expire, so temple's over, but ETC in a little bit of trouble, and he goes down. A noob does as well. So far, this is a 1-for-1, which I think if you are Smash Mouth, you have to be very happy with. Meanwhile, Rhaegar in the back cannot ancestral himself. But thanks to the comeback XP, that is going to be level 16 here, picked up for Smash Mouth. So, finally they are on even talent tiers. And that kill on ETC, they're second of the game, so they are on the board. Meanwhile, not so much to do at the moment. No boss up, no temples, so both teams just going to pull back and pick up their bruiser camps. Actually, I take that back. Boss is up now. So Smash Mouth looking to... Don't think they're looking to try and sneak it, but they definitely do want to keep their eyes on it. They do not want that to be snatched away. And it's certainly one of the ways that a team can come back. The other team thinks they have a giant advantage. They try and sneak the boss, and ends up being a throw pit. But both teams being very patient. No one's starting on it. In fact, Dahaka is showing in the top lane, but actually burrowing all the way down. So I didn't see a need for him to come down. I mean, the boss isn't being started. I feel like he was content to stay up there and soak, possibly start the temple and then come down. But no, both teams really looking like they want to fight. And the boss has been started. And he is going to pull away. So, yeah, I think either team starting this boss, or at least heavily committing to the boss, would be absolute suicide. Meanwhile, Dahaka going to walk in, pop adaptation, going to get healed right back up, but Anubarak gets the ancestral healing, and that is Malfurion going down. But Power Slide comes down onto Artanis, so he will fall. So far, this is a 1-for-1, but this is very favorable for Smash Mouth, as it is the support that is down on the side of Hodor. But a noob going to go down, as he made a hard engagement onto Dahaka, but Dahaka proving he had the better burrow. And meanwhile, boss going to be picked up after all here for Hodor. Yeah, they decided, you know what? We spent all this time posturing for this, that we're just gonna take it after all. Undeterred by the fact that they don't have Malfurion, but Li Ming and Rhaegar looking to contest this. And Rhaegar managed to get on the point, but Li Ming ends up going down. And that is going to be the boss, going over to Hodor, but Vala may be able to. No, the power slide from ETC stopped her from killing off either ETC or Gul'dan, so crazy fight there, but that ends up being a boss, going over to Hodor along with level 20. And they're then going to go ahead, pick up the top temple. As Smash Mouth forced to pull back and clean up the boss. Not only that, but also soak to 20. This is not a nice situation to be in, as they are going to lose their top keep to the temple. Maybe the middle keep as well. In fact, yeah, that middle keep is going down. And core is going down too. The shields are down on it. Which means that after this temple, this keep goes down, there's still a lot of shots left on that temple. And it's going directly on core. I don't think it's going to be enough to take it down fully. But man, it's going to be close. Still 4 shot. I think it's going to take it down to 4%. 2%. Wow. So at this point, Hodor, like, ETC can stage dive onto the core. And yeah, he has stage dive. Yeah, here he comes. Stage dive alone. Enough to finish it off. That is going to be game number 1. Going over to Hodor. So that is quite a way to end a game. I don't think I've ever seen a game end with stage dive onto the core, and the stage dive actually kills it. But pretty entertaining way there to end the first game. So that was pretty much in Hodor's favor, pretty much from start to end. So, well done by them. And I think for the most part, they did a great job of abusing Dahaka and its global. Yeah, the split soaking they were able to get from Dahaka gave them such a big lead in the beginning. Was they were able to basically use that to snowball their way to victory the rest of the time. So. Goes to show you how powerful globals are on that map. Which is why they banned up Falstad. So, waiting on game number 2 to get started here. This time it will be Hodor's pick. Alright, looks like it will be Haunted Mines. Oh my god, really? Do we not have vetoes in Share League? Oh, God. Oh. Alright, Haunted Mines. That's what it is. Oh, we're going to have to endure this map. Ugh. Alright, lobby is up. So I should be getting this draft here for game number 2 underway momentarily. These guys are having fun. So am I. Pretty sure there's all sorts of Game of Thrones references that are going out that I am not getting. I don't watch Game of Thrones because I'm a bad person. No, like, honestly, the real reason I don't watch it is because I know if I started, that would just be like 2 weeks of my life gone. Like, I know I wouldn't be able to stop. I would have to get all caught up. So I was with Dragon Ball Super. It's like once I found it, it was like, I need to watch every episode right now. It's like I don't get my life back for like 2 weeks. So sorry guys, I don't know where my phone is, so I have no idea what's going on in the chat. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I'm not accidentally leaving the game scene on this screen or whatever while the game is going on. But yeah, I mean, last game is like they had Nazebo too, but I don't think they won that game because of him. Yeah, usually with Nazebo, you're kind of playing for the late game. Waiting for him to get a straight super tracked or super stacked. The word I was going for. And then the late game is just an absolute beast, but I don't know. I feel like that was pretty in hand long before that. So, draft underway here for game number 2 on Haunted Mines. I am so sorry, everyone. Well, it looks like Sylvanas going to be banned out here for Smash Mouth All-Stars. Which is not surprising. This is, I think Sylvanas is very strong on any map where you can kind of cheese out the objective or get like half the objective. Just because she enables it so much. But this draft's happening at lightning speed, so Ragnarok's going to be banned out by Hodor. This is going to be an immediate first pick Lucio by Smash Mouth All-Stars. Now, that is a first pick Master Lucio. But Sonya Brightwing picked up for Hodor. So you don't really see a lot of Brightwing these days. Mostly because she sucks now. I'm not really sure why. I don't think she was nerfed, but I just can't get anything done with her for some reason. But interesting that they would go with Brightwing over Malfurion, who is going to get through this entire draft, it looks like. Interesting. I'm not sure why they would go for Brightwing on this map. Especially, I don't know why you would pick it now. Like, Brightwing is not going to be nerfed. Brightwing is not going to be picked. Or, sorry, not nerfed. Brightwing not going to be banned. Brightwing is not going to be picked by Smash Mouth. So, I really don't understand this pick at all. I can see you picking Brightwing because you don't want Brightwing to counter Sonya, but again, Brightwing not going to be picked up by Smash Mouth All-Stars, but Tassadar is. So they're going for the double support with Lucio Tassadar. And also the Lord of Terror himself. So Hodor looking to deny the Tracer duo. Tassadar and Tracer. And I almost wonder why you pick up Diablo here. If you really do want to have Tassadar and Tracer, I think you have to pretty much pick them together. Otherwise, that exact thing happens. The duo gets banned out. So either Smash Mouth All-Stars was not planning on going Tracer, or they screwed up. But hopefully they have someone else in mind that they can pair Tassadar with. But if it was Vala, that's not going to work. But Vala's snatched up by Hodor. And Gul'dan picked up as well. I don't really like Brightwing and Gul'dan. So Gul'dan, I mean, the way he works, he turns his health into mana, which he uses to basically spam his abilities. And a really targeted healer, I think, works better with him. Someone like Malfurion, someone like Morales. Someone who can give him a lot of healing, so he can basically turn that into damage. But Brightwing is an AoE healer. So she has a tough time, like, really giving one person a lot of healing. Just kind of what Gul'dan needs to thrive. So, yeah, again, the Brightwing pick is really what puzzles me. It's not going to get any better because Kael'thas picked up by Smash Mouth All-Stars and Kerrigan. Interesting. Was not expecting to see her picked on this map. Maybe they think we're playing Infernal Shrines. Don't know. Okay, so like the reason why I think Brightwing is not great against the Kael'thas, Brightwing basically wants everyone to be all gathered together so that she can maximize her healing output. But which plays right into the hands of Kael'thas, who wants everyone to be bunched up, so his flame strikes hit everyone. Living Bomb spreads. So the more clumped up you are, the better of a time Kael'thas is going to have. But Brightwing wants everyone to be clumped up, otherwise her healing output is pretty bad. But EZC, once again, going to round out the draft for Hodor. And here we go. Game number 2. And if you're just joining us, this is a Division 2 match. Hodor and Smash Mouth All-Stars. Well, the good news, I think, for Hodor is that they do have a nice, sturdy team. You know, it's double tank, which is pretty good for Brightwing. And then they have all kinds of damage to back it up. So, they do have that going for them.
Get ready for combat,
But here we go. So, for the side of a Hodor, we have Mongoose on ETC, Dragon Knight on Gul'dan, Wild Thunder on Sonya, Radion on Vala, and Osteel on Brightwing. And on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars, it is Chef Potato on Kael'thas, Blackout on Kerrigan, Grower on Diablo, Snail Pound on Tassadar, and Solo on Lucio. Looks like it is going to be Tassadar up in the top lane. Whereas it is going to be Lucio and friends in the bottom lane. It is going to be the W build for Tassadar. Been seeing some more of the auto attack build from him. I tried it out last night, and one of the many quick matches that I lost, and I got MVP, and the build seemed pretty cool, but we lost. But Gul'dan going to escape with not much life left. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, it's Tassadar getting pushed back by Sonya. But meanwhile, ETC, the big shadow charge from Diablo against the Rock. That is going to be Diablo going down, and the Kerrigan combo lands on Vala. But Vala going to make it out. So, that is first blood of the game going over to Smash Mouth, so things off to a good start for them. And the BM coming out from Solo. Meanwhile, Kerrigan has to be a little bit careful as ETC right behind her. I'm sure a very angry ETC. It does have to be careful, as he is between Diablo and a wall, which is not a great place to be. But big 3-man power slide from ETC. But it looks like no kill is going to be secured off of that. You know, Diablo getting super low, and Vala just putting out all kinds of damage. I don't know, I feel like she could have been a little more aggressive. I feel like she could have gotten that kill on Diablo. I mean, she has full life. What is she worried about? But meanwhile, Diablo super chunked out. And he's going to be forced back by Vala. So we are seeing Smash Mouth elect to go into the mines, whereas because this map is retarded and the objective doesn't matter, at least early, we are seeing Hodor choose to stay out and go ahead and just grab the camps, which is probably more effective than actually going into the mines and getting the objective. Which, by the way, this is part of why Sylvanas was banned out, because just she enables the camp so much and cheese your way to victory on this map with her. Of course, she, you know, even then she's great when she actually gets the objective. So Sylvanas pretty busted on this map. You know, Tassadar dying somewhere. Okay, he died up in the top lane too, Sonya. Thought he died to the Grave Golem or something. Don't know, but Sonya took him down. But meanwhile, the kill going to come down on ETC. As Hodor overextending a little bit, perhaps. But really wanted to get that bottom fort. See, just with camps, and not even any kind of really insane pushing power, they're able to nearly get that bottom fort. Whereas Smash Mouth All-Stars probably can get a 100 skull golem and won't even get that much. You know, Diablo's stepping out a little bit, not realizing Vala's there in the bush. But ETC is back angry. Power Slide comes down onto Diablo. But it looks like he is going to survive, because he does have the heals from Lucio. But they're going to lose this bottom fort, probably. Yeah, one more Fell Flame going to do the job. So, bottom fort down for Smash Mouth All-Stars, and they're about to be down Lucio as well. He's up a little bit far, gets caught by the power slide. Meanwhile, another camp going to be picked up here for Hodor, and the reason that was picked up so sneakily is thanks to Pixie Charm from Brightwing. So far the early game, just completely ignoring the camps, or sorry, ignoring the objective, ignoring the golem, and so far is absolutely paying off for that. They got the bottom fort, top fort nearly down as well, and it's putting so much pressure on the Smash Mouth that they can't even go in and get the objective for themselves. You know, they're forced to stay out and defend the camps. So it looks like this top fort going to go down no matter what. Shields from Tassadar are not going to be enough to stop the sappers from taking it down. So without any objective, with no golems, pre-10, this is both forts down for in favor of Hodor. So going well for them so far. And yeah, just showing off the silliness that is Haunted Mines, where apparently ignoring the objective to really pay dividends on this map. Meanwhile, Vala in some trouble. Oops, if I could click, but looks like she did vault away from the carrying combo. But meanwhile, in comes the big power slide onto Lucio, and down he is going to go. Kerrigan looks like she's going to be the next to go down, and she does. Diablo going to fall next. A power slide not going to connect on Tassadar, so that is a 3-for-none trade in favor of Hodor, who have just picked up level 10. And still not giving a tenth of a shit about the objective, so that That golem was just sitting there. That last group of skeletons just looks like they're just gonna sit there until the end of time. So, as no one cares about it at this point, but leap from Sonya, going to get her out of there. But Shadow Charge comes down on Navala. Don't think they're going to be able to get that kill, but probably more coming down from Brightwing. But Sonya was going back in maybe a little bit too far. And it comes a stage dive from ETC, but don't think it's going to work out. That is going to be Gul'dan going next. ETC going to go down next. And did Hodor overstay their welcome? I think they did. As that is going to be three kills for Smash Mouth All-Stars, and thanks to that comeback XP, that is going to nearly get them level 10. Not quite there yet. But finally, someone going into the mines. So we're going to see those skeletons picked up after all. And in comes the rest of Smash Mouth All-Stars to finish off the golem. And have a 100 skill golem for them pushing up in the top lane. Where Sonya is already prepping the Sapper camp. Curious if she's going to cap it. Yeah, she will. Probably be hard to delay that cap long enough to actually use it on the golem, as the camp could easily be invaded. And Hodor no longer has a supreme advantage, as they are now on the same talent tier. They do still have a level lead, but it's just not the same as having a heroic advantage over your opponent. So, very curious to see how much this 100 skull golem is going to get done. I can guarantee you this: it's not going to get 2 forts. I mean, will it even get a wall? I mean, that's fine. It's already halfway down, and hasn't even gotten that turret yet. But of course, everyone here is now here on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars. But Horrify comes down, only hitting Lucio. But Apocalypse coming down, and that is a 4-mat Apocalypse. Gul'dan goes down. And ETC goes down as well. Looks like Sonya may be the next to fall, but no, it is going to be Brightwing engaged upon, but just going to blink heal her way out of there. So, thanks to the couple of picks there, that is going to be a fort going down. Well, it was a fort, but it wasn't 2 forts, so. And if not for those 2 picks, that golem certainly would have gotten that fort, so. But this is certainly an angry Smash Mouth All-Stars who are going to try and invade this siege camp, but in comes the gigantic stage dive from ETC. And even though Bright has gone down, that is Kerrigan and Lucio down on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars. Kael'thas going next to fall. And it's going to be Tassadar and Diablo just limping away. Yeah, it looks like, oh my god, ouch. So apparently Kael'thas was at 19 stacks, which means that, that death now means he's at 0 stacks, so. Rough there for, rough turn of events there for Kael'thas. So both teams now relatively even. Bit of a structure advantage on the side of Hodor, but actually a slight XP lead there for Smash Mouth All-Stars, but that momentary lead is gone as the Sapper Camp going to make quick work of that keep wall. Diablo taking all kinds of damage. Walks right up to Gul'dan, gets the overpower. That is going to be a dead Gul'dan. As I mean, even if that Apocalypse didn't kill him, the Flame Strike was certainly going to. And ETC hanging on by a thread, but the Ravage from Carrion going to be enough. And what was looking mighty promising for Hodor early is suddenly gone very, very sour. Looks like Sonya going to just barely escape, but for the first time this game, we're actually seeing a skull picked up for Hodor. So we're going to see Vala sneak away that one little group of skeletons, but not much they can do in the meantime. ETC does have stage dive, but I don't think he can go into the mines with it, so why the hell not? He's just going to use it to hop all the way over here to the siege camp. But with only 10 skulls, that means they're going to... Hodor is going to be on the receiving end of a 90 skull golem, which this late into the game is going to hurt significantly more than the 100 skull golem did earlier. So, but they are going to snipe this bottom keep, and they're going to have to get out of here because there's an angry Diablo that is after them, and they are going to escape in time. I think if you're Hodor, or sorry, Smash Mouth All-Stars, don't really need to defend this golem at all. It's only 10 skulls. I mean, it's the core is gonna tank that pretty easily. Oh, sorry, no, okay, they were doing that for some reason. I thought didn't realize that it was a swap, but yeah. So Smash Mouth doing what they should be, going to push entirely with their golem in the bottom lane. And let's go golem, undefended, with sappers behind it. I think it's going to get some damage on that keep. Don't know that it's going to go down entirely undefended, but so far this 90 skull golem doing a lot of work. It's already taken out the bottom fort, and it's still got plenty of life, but in comes the combo from Kerrigan. And all kinds of stuff going on, but that is going to be Gul'dan going down, but health bars are super low on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars. But Sound Barrier comes in from Lucio, and that is going to be Sonya going down. And despite everyone being super low on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars, that is 2 more kills for them. So the double support for them really paying off. And they ended up getting the bottom fort and the bottom keep wall. But meanwhile, up in the top, the mere 10 skull golem and the sapper camp nearly took down the keep. But down goes ETC, who was not wanting to give up this bottom keep, but really had no choice in the matter. So that is going to be a keep going down in favor of Smash Mouth All-Stars, but their top keep is hanging on by a thread. But the good news for them is that this game does appear to be largely in their favor now, as they are winning the majority of the team fights, but in comes a gigantic leap from Sonya, and the Horrify from Gul'dan is going to scare everyone away from the camp on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars. But another gigantic sound barrier from Solo on Lucio is gonna keep everyone up. And that ends up being a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Smash Mouth All-Stars. I feel like there may have been a little bit of anti-synergy there between Gul'dan and Sonya. Sonya had leapt in and was whirlwinding on 4 people, but the Horrify kind of scared everyone away from that, which meant she was no longer whirlwinding on anyone and was no longer getting any healing. But big 4-man power slide coming in from ETC, but the Apocalypse is going to come down, miss everyone. But meanwhile, the core going down to 40%, and that is going to be, yeah, that's going to do it. Despite the kills there, despite the 3 kills for Hodor, that is going to be Smash Mouth All-Stars taking game number 2. And they are going to tie it up. So that was pretty nutty. That was, what a silly map that is. You know, I'm not even sure how Kerrigan worked that well for Smash Mouth. It doesn't seem like a map that's really conducive to her, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even looking at the stats, I mean, Kerrigan only had 35k damage. Here, let's go over to this real quick. Kerrigan had 35k damage, whereas Vala had 60, Gul'dan had 52, and yet that was a huge early game advantage for Hodor, but that was Smash Mouth walking away with it. And I really got to credit Solo on Lucio, very very clutch. As you see, the next map is going to be Braxis, but very, very clutch sound barriers. I mean, a couple there at the end were just absolutely clutch, absolutely game changing. Yeah, 103k healing to 43k on Brightwing. You know, I really I think what that game came down to. I think Hodor just overextended. You know, I think they maybe thought things were a little more in their favor than they anticipated. You know, maybe kind of misread the situation a bit. And also the Brightwing pick. I do not think that worked out. Not at all. I think Malfurion would have been 100 times better. Oh well. So game number 3 going to be on Braxis Holdout. As everyone gets piled into the lobby. And that last map pick, that that last game was Hodor's map pick, and you can see that they went into that with a plan. Just didn't work out. But to be fair, I think the plan was solid. I think it was just strategic mistakes they made. You know, staying too long. Not drafting properly. Picking Brightwing instead of Malfurion. But kudos to Smash Mouth who clutched that out. Yeah, one of them was saying that that old cheese strat not going to the mines was very frustrating, which, yeah, I can certainly understand. So, still wanting everyone to ready up, but oh, I know what happened. So, okay. So, I typed Alt 3 to make the heart in the chat. And because I pressed 3 on the numpad, that made my scene go over. Oh, that is silly. Yeah, people keep screaming Hodor in the chat. I just gotta assume that's a Game of Thrones thing. But yeah, it's going to be Braxis. Very, very different map. Except that it isn't. It's Haunted Mines minus the mines. Okay, can we start this? They're like talking about tea sandwiches in the chat. All right. I don't know what a tea sandwich is, but it sounds terrible. Sounds very British. Britain, not known for its fine foods. All right, there we go. Draft finally underway here for the third and final game. Brax's holdout. So this time it is going to be Hodor with the first pick, first ban. People are talking about food in Canada and healthcare. Do they know the draft has started? Do they know that a match is underway? I'm not sure they do. So this time it is going to be Lucio. First ban by Hodor, so the respect ban coming out. And the counter respect ban, the ETC, going to be banned out by Smash Mouth All-Stars. And not surprisingly, it is going to be Ragnaros, the Fire Lord, picked up by Hodor. So they are going to have a dominant soul laner, and someone who can very quickly, very effectively shut down the Zerg Rush. Yeah, pretty much one Molten Swing from Ragnaros, and that is a lot of dead Zerg. A lot of dead Banelings, a lot of dead Zerglings. And whatever the hell else. Hydralisk, I guess? I don't know. So this time it is going to be... Smash Mouth making a pick. Let's see what they choose to go with. So it is going to be Gul'dan and Malfurion. So no ETC available to go with Malfurion. So instead they're going to pick up Gul'dan, who is I think Gul'dan is a great answer to Ragnaros. As he you can put Gul'dan in a soul lane, but he also just does a tremendous job of just mopping up the Zerg. So, I mean, Ragnaros and Gul'dan, they're both kind of lose less heroes, as opposed to win more. And, of course, Malfurion going to pair up very well with Gul'dan, as he can give him very mana-efficient healing, which does much better than Brightwing does. But it's going to be Vala and Kael'thas, picked up by Hodor, so currently no tank or support for them. So I think if you're Smash Mouth All-Stars, you can probably choke out their supports. I think probably you ban Morales here, and then you let them have Brightwing. Or you can ban out Rhaegar, that works too. Though, yeah, I don't know. I think Morales is scarier on this map, especially with a Vala or a... Not necessarily Kael'thas, but... I think with Vala, Morales can be pretty scary on this map. Just because she's so mana efficient in the 4-man. And she can really keep Vala up. And if Vala's at full health and can be aggressive, she can be really, really scary. So, Dahaka going to be banned out by Hodor, so going to limit the potential soul laners and go up top against Ragnaros. Dahaka is just pretty strong on this map, just because he can control a lane and a point so well, and he also does a great job of cleaning up the Zerg, so very good map for him. Solid ban. So, 2 more picks here for Smash Mouth, who still need a tank and a probably secondary frontliner. Well, ETC off the board. Could maybe look to pick up a Sonya here. And this is a pretty good map for her, and you would also be taking that away from Hodor. And you know they play her because Yeah. Because, you know, they picked their last game, but yeah, there it is. So they probably going to have Sonya up in the top lane. And then have Diablo be an absolute menace in the bottom. That's going to be Ariel and Johanna running out the comp for Hodor. So Ariel also pairs up pretty well with Vala. And someone dropped. So, whoops. Well, they should be coming back. In which case, we'll have to restart the draft, redo all that, so... Someone apparently did not pay their internet bill, so... Yeah, apparently, Yeah, apparently that guy, they're saying he lives in Mississippi and his internet went out or something. Like, he's not even on the voice chat, so... Might be a minute here. Ugh. So, just gonna sit tight, wait for him to come back. But yeah, let me load up my own stream here, so I can see the chat. But okay, he's back. So, but is he? But is he back in yet? All right, well, we're almost back. There he is. He's reconnected, so... Okay, so it looks like what we're going to do is that... Oh my god. He just disconnected again! Alright, well, whenever we get this all sorted out. But basically, because the draft was pretty much done, we're just going to redo it and, non-draft mode and have everyone pick who they were going to pick and just kind of proceed that way. Oh my god. So apparently we're back to talking about food and cucumber sandwiches and tea sandwiches and oh my god. Oh, what a nightmare. It's like we're posting, like, ingredients and, recipes and stuff here now. Oh my god, Solo needs to come back ASAP. So that we can stop this dreadful cooking talk. Quick, Solo. Upgrade your internet so we can, so we can play and be spared. Oh, and he just dropped again. Oh boy. Well. Okay. Now he's back again, so I don't know. Hopefully we're good to go here. He says the hamster stopped running. Alright, so hopefully we can get this game started before he drops again. The important thing is that we get this game underway and stop talking about cucumber sandwiches, so that'd be great. But it looks like it is going to be, looks like Falstad going to be the last pick for for Smash Mouth All-Stars, so think we're about good here. Oh, I guess I need to probably ready up. There we go. It's been so long since I've been a part of an observer of this kind of custom game. I suppose you just draft. It's like, oh yeah, I have to click ready too. That's a thing. Alright, but that is 10 out of 10, so hopefully we are going to be getting underway here momentarily. There we go. So I think the Falstad pick is going to work out well for Smash Mouth. So yeah, I mean, a common way to play this game, and I don't know that I ever saw it a bunch, but it was kind of one of the things that Cavalier Guest in particular would talk about. But basically, you would win the 4-man and then have the global go top, which will create a 2-on-1. So basically, you use the global to secure both beacons, but never really saw that pan out a ton. But that option's certainly on the table for Smash Mouth All-Stars. But here we go, third and final game. It is finally underway, which means stop talking about melt. Oh my god. For the side of Hodor, it is Mongoose on Johanna, Dragon Knight on Kael'thas, Wild Thunder on Ragnaros, Radeon on Vala, and Osteel on Ariel. Like that talent pick. And on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars, it is Chef Pablo on Falstad, Snail Pound on Malfurion, Grower on Diablo, Blackout on Sonya, and Solo, the man with the best internet in America, on Gul'dan. So, as predicted, it is going to be Sonya and Ragnaros up in the top lane. Meanwhile, a tremendous amount of B steps coming down in the bottom lane. So that's Diablo getting super low, but he does have Malfurion, so he will be able to be healed up in no time. Meanwhile, Kael'thas up there awfully far, but he's a lot healthier than Diablo. Meanwhile, a big overpower comes down on a Johanna, but thanks to, I believe that was the Detainment Strike, Diablo knocked out of his combo, so Johanna able to walk away. So health bar is getting awfully low on the side of Hodor. And big overpower coming down on a Kael'thas, and that is going to be first blood going over to Smash Mouth All-Stars. The thing I don't like about Ariel, and this is why I don't think she is a top tier support, is that if you get poked out, she really struggles, because then all of a sudden people on your team are not in position to do damage. They have to play defensively, which means that she can't get any energy, which means you're in a lot of trouble. Whereas, you know, like, as long as Malfurion has mana, you can sit back and press Q on people. But for an Ariel team, it can be very difficult to play from behind, which is the position they find themselves in right now. But I like that Johanna went top to help secure the top beacons, so charge going to stop at 68% for Smash Mouth All-Stars. Meanwhile, Falstad looking to answer back, but took the long way, choosing to save his flight to possibly return bottom upon taking the beacon. That is going to be a 100% to 0 charge in favor of Smash Mouth All-Star. Still don't know exactly what to call it. I mean, 100 to 0 Zerg Wave, or I don't know. Gonna have to watch the Clash this weekend and see if those guys have figured out anything. But Molten Core going to come in from Ragnaros, and one swing is going to mean all these Zerg are now dead. But Overpower coming down on Johanna, but Iron Skin going to get her out of there. But meanwhile, Diablo going in hard despite being awfully low, but able to walk right out of there. And so despite the 100 to 0, the bottom fort is still going to be standing, largely in part thanks to the Molten Core from Ragnaros.
Who designed this ramshackle facility? Oh wait, I did.
Meanwhile, not surprisingly, nothing got done up in the top lane with the 0% Zerg wave. But Sonya in a bit of a vulnerable position. In comes the invade from Johanna. Sonya going to have to back off. That's going to be a successfully slowing camp for Hodor. In addition to that, it looks like they're going to be able to sneak this top cannon tower. As Sonya apparently content to just let Vala beat on it. But eventually scared her away. Now Vala chose to take down that wall rather than the tower, which means, well, for what it means, the tower is still up, but looking like she was maybe, by breaking down that wall, maybe she's looking to eventually take down that well. As the well is very, very important on this map. As well as the wells, it is very difficult to sustain around the beacons. Well, that is a Kael'thas that is hanging out by a thread. The corruption from Gul'dan not quite enough to finish him off. Meanwhile, Ariel has absolutely no energy. And Ariel did choose to go Empathic Link, which means that she is going to... her bestowed hope target is going to give her energy when they take damage. Which I actually think is a great way to actually generate energy when you're behind. Because then, like, hey, at least if your target is getting pounded on, at least you're getting energy for that. So this is going to be the bottom beacon going over to Hodor. That is going to be Gul'dan going down. Falstad not in time to save him, but in comes Sonya. It looks like not going to be able to find the kill onto Johanna, and the Chef Pablo live in Mississippi too. Is his internet going down as well? Meanwhile, everyone is down here for Smash Mouth All-Stars. Except for Gul'dan, who do have to go back, but Vala going to be able to take control of the top beacon. Just going to stop Smash Mouth from getting it all the way to 100%. Meanwhile, Sonya being very aggressive, and Johanna getting super low, but in comes a very aggressive Ragnaros. Maybe a little bit too aggressive, as this is a 4-on-5. As a result of that, it is now a 3-on-5. I mean, credit to them. I mean, they did get everyone pretty low on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars, but ultimately it's Smash Mouth walking away from that with a kill. You know, Vala continuing to control the top. Soak XP from the minions, but now joined by Falstad. So no longer going to be uncontested up top. Meanwhile, Smash Mouth going to steal away a camp of their own. And the combination of Sonya and Falstad going to once again get control of the top beacon, meaning they now have control of both, so it's like Ragnaros going to be able to stop the beacon charge in time. But it is momentary as Diablo comes in. The combination of the Horrify from Gul'dan and the Shadow Charge from Diablo. Going to take him down. So this is going to be another 100% Zerg wave in favor of Smash Mouth All-Stars. So yeah, you could say it's 100% Zerg wave, but then what about the other team's Zerg wave? Like, 100% sounds like it works if it's 100 to 0, but like, what if it's 100 to 98? Then is it, oh my god, 100% Zerg wave for this team? Like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. But hey, what's not weird is that Johanna and Kael'thas went down in the top lane to a very strong Zerg push. You know, it was a Ragnaros in the bottom lane clearing that, which meant he was unavailable to Molten Core the top 4, but he's going to have it here for the keep, so he's going to hop in and largely whittle down the health bars outside of Smash Mouth All-Stars. So we have to be very careful about continuing to push here. Probably not going to get this keep. In fact, they're definitely not going to get this keep because Sulfurious Smash ended the life of Gul'dan. And Vala continuing to pursue, but does not have her team behind her. So have to be a little bit careful about that. So Smash Mouth may be overextending a little bit, maybe overstaying their welcome. Which is actually what we saw out of Hodor last game. So, more of the story for this series so far. Don't overextend. It's not a good thing to do. Not in Heroes of the Storm. Not for your knees, not for your elbows. Just never overextend. Meanwhile, Sonya trying to clean up this minion wave in the bottom. But going to get some harassment. Meanwhile, Falstad looking for a big gust. Gets Ariel. And the silence means she's not going to be able to Aegis herself for a while at least, and that is going to be a successful pick. I kind of think only getting Ariel not the worst thing in the world. If everyone was gusted, then maybe they would have been able to help save her, maybe turn that a little bit, but I don't know. With there being members of Hodor up in the top lane, I don't know. Probably more people hit by the gust would have resulted in more kills. We'll never know.
Looks like the beacons are reactivating.
Meanwhile, the camp that was picked up going to do considerable damage to the top fort. Falstad going to fly in, try and do what he can to save the top fort, which looks like he will be able to do. Meanwhile, control of the bottom beacon going to go over to Smash Mouth All-Stars, with the top going over to Hodor. So, and Hodor looking for the pick onto Falstad, but he's going to barrel roll his way to safety, but not going to be able to save this top fort. And picking up that fort, going to get Smash Mouth Hodor a little bit closer to level 13. Which they definitely need to be on even footing. Meanwhile, Sonya is out awfully far. Don't think she's going to solo that keep all by her lonesome, but in fact, she does have to be very careful. Walking into potentially dangerous territory here. Really not sure what Sonya is thinking, but gigantic Horrify comes out from Gul'dan, but that is going to be Malfurion going down, Sonya going down as well, but Kael'thas is going down on the side of Hodor. But Diablo going to go down, but he does have souls, and he will be, get up here, mouse. So he is going to be coming back rather quickly, but that was a... I don't know, I feel like that was a comedically out of position Sonya. I mean, she was just thinking like she wanted to invade that keep. Just kind of walked right up to this beacon without any kind of vision. But that is This is going to be Boss 1, Johanna 0. You know, I mean, honestly, that is another weakness of Ariel. When she bestows hope on someone, they gain a lot of the energy. God, how do I say this? Basically, damage they do to heroes generates her a lot more energy. And damage to minion waves, bosses, that kind of thing, doesn't really generate her a lot of energy. So, it's just a very tough time keeping her team up when they are doing something like a boss. Just as like her team can't really generate a lot of energy. So that's going to be a boss going over to Hodor, but it's going to be a 100% to 0 Zerg wave in favor of Smash Mouth All-Stars. So kind of sloppy outside of Smash Mouth All-Stars, but they end up walking away from that with a couple kills and a 100 to none Zerg wave. But Molten Core going to come out. I think, unfortunately, a little bit early. So they're going to actually take it back. I think probably a lot of little Zerg were there already. That is going to be Johanna going down. And Hodor does have to be very careful. Otherwise, this could end up... It's going to go from bad to worse for them fairly easily. But Ariel going to be isolated. Going to use the Aegis on herself. And Falstad with a great gust trying to save everyone. But down he goes. And... Malfurion and Diablo ended up going down as well. Not even entirely sure what they died to. Was it the keep that killed him? Man, I don't know, but life bar is super low on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars on their 2 remaining members, so curious to see what Hodor is going to do with this. Would like to see them, you know, boss is going to be unavailable. But they can certainly take the bottom fort. Probably not going to get too much more from that as everyone is now up. They don't have to be worried about Falstad, who can fly over in gust. But curious to see. So this time Kael'thas going to complete his quest. This time not dying at 19. But now both teams very, very even. Probably a slight advantage here to Hodor as they are even in terms of XP and levels, but are down a keep. Which I think means that they've done a little bit better job team fighting, but no, I take it back. Being down a keep is never a great situation to be in. This means the other team does have a win condition. And has catapult pressure in that lane for the rest of the game. But next beacon phase coming up, which could easily be the last one of the game. I think it was another 100% to 0 Zerg wave. Going to be very difficult for either team to contest it, as the Zerg wave will be pressing against keeps. We'll push in the bottom lane for Hodor and in the top lane for Smash Mouth All-Stars. So in neither case is the Zerg wave going to go directly to the core, but this late into the game, the Zerg rushes are quite powerful. Can likely take down a keep without too much trouble. But both teams looking to stay even in terms of soak. A slight lead for Smash Mouth All-Stars. And Smash Mouth has to be very careful as they are abandoning this beacon. But, probably going to lose control of the top beacon, which means that the Zerg going to be charging in favor of Hodor, but they're going to just go ahead, snipe this top keep, which means now if they're able to get a fully charged Zerg wave, It is going to be pushing against the core, but Diablo with the lightning breath going to go down. So that is going to be 1 down, a 1 for none trade in favor of Hodor, but they're about to lose control of both of the beacons as Falstad has flown bottom to take control of that. But 88% charge in favor of Hodor, so if they can get this last 12%, they will be in pretty good shape. But Johanna going in, looking for the pick on the Malfurion, who is well away from the rest of his team. But unfortunately for Johanna, no follow-up there. No one else in position to capitalize on the out-of-position Malfurion. But Hodor going to help themselves to the siege camp while they can. Meanwhile, Diablo is back up, and Sonya doing the same thing in the bottom lane, whereas Johanna going to take control of the bottom beacon, which means this is going to be the first 100% Zerg wave in favor of Hodor. So let's see what they can do with this. The bad news for them, they do not have either keeps, so going to have to deal with catapults pretty much for the rest of the game. It means that because they're dealing with those, really not going to be free to go ahead and push with their Zerg wave. You know, it looks like Smash Mouth All-Star is thinking about Endy. They're not doing anything to defend against that wave, although Sonya's starting to go back. Though she changed her mind. But looks like the rest of the team finally starting to go back. And meanwhile, this bottom keep is absolutely being chewed apart. Down it goes. See, these Zerg waves, I mean, late into the game, are absolutely lethal. I mean, look at... Malfurion is in some trouble. I mean, he nearly died to just the Zerg wave. Just goes to show how strong these late game Zerg waves are. But level 20 about to be picked up here by Hodor. Don't think it's going to lead to any significant advantage, as it is about to be picked up by Smash Mouth All-Stars as well. Both teams choosing to pick up the Bruiser camp of their own. And siege camps as well. Really got to, really do have to credit Hodor. They've done a great job of checking bushes. You know, we've seen Johanna use her shield glare a lot to check bushes. Vala was just using multi-shot to do that, whereas you know, kind of earlier, Sonya just kind of walking willy-nilly through incredibly dangerous territory, and ultimately got picked. And see, this is where checking bushes really pays off. Of course, as soon as I'm singing their praises, Johanna not checking that bush, but major party bush situation, and this is going to be a boss that is going to be snuck by Smash Mouth All-Stars. Not sure that Hodor can get here in time to really contest this. Johanna going to do what she can, pops her Iron Skin, going to try and get onto the point, not going to make it on in time, but the Blessed Shield has come down, and the Sulfurious Smash comes down, hitting Diablo and Falstad, but the Gust is clutch. And that is going to be no kills for Hodor. And had it not been for that Gust, that could have been absolutely disastrous. Even though they were able to get the boss, if they had gotten wiped during that fight, Hodor could have easily gone into the bottom lane and straight core. But thanks to the global for Falstad, this is going to be both of the beacons being controlled by Smash Mouth All-Stars. So Hodor has to make something happen. They have to make it right now. But Smash Mouth All-Stars abandons the top beacon, so that is going to allow them to okay, I was worried they were going core there, but no, they're going to go ahead and steal the siege camp instead. and just secure control of the bottom beacon. And Smash Bros. All-Stars, they are happy to play this game because they have both keeps down in their favor. They're going to have catapult pressure pushing in both lanes, which means that the core of Hodor are going to be pressured. But in comes the engagement onto Diablo, who, by the way, has walked onto the point. But that is going to be Ragnaros going down. Control of both beacons going over to Smash Mouth All-Stars. In comes Falstad. That is going to be a dead Vala, I assume. No, that is Diablo and Malfurion going down. Meanwhile, Indestructible popped by Johanna. And somehow Vala is still alive. I don't really understand. Thought for sure Falstad was going to kill her, but down goes Johanna. And I think this is going to be game. I think this is going to be Smash Mouth All-Stars taking this series 2-1. And that is going to be... Don't think there's going to be anything that Hodor can do to stop this. And that is going to be GG. So hey, congratulations to Smash Mouth All-Stars for taking a wild series. And I feel like that could have gone either way, honestly. I really think Hodor probably should have won the second game handily, but unfortunately, some overextensions on their part, and I thought they built up a pretty sizable advantage, but fortunately, kind of misplayed it once they had that. But anyway, that is going to be once again Smash Bros. All-Stars taking it 2-1, and that is going to do it for me for tonight. So I thank you all for watching a very entertaining series. That is going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.